Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my channel. Today we are also going to talk about Docker, and today's episode is also Docker Compose. Or rather, what you can do if you don't want to use Docker Compose. Can we avoid it in some way? Yes, we can. But with this episode you should understand how much easier to deal with multiple containers is with Docker Compose. Now you are going to see how many steps we have to do if we want to do everything by hand. On the other side, this episode might be really useful because by making your hands dirty, you can really understand how all of this works. So what I want to do first, I want to build these two images, but not by using Docker Compose. I want to build it in old-fashioned way. I'm just going to use sudo. By the way, these two applications, client and server, are from our previous episode. It's nothing special really, just two Python applications that are communicating over TCP. And now we should enable that TCP communication between Docker containers. So first I'm going to use sudo docker build, and I'm going to build server first, and we have to provide tag, it's KST, call it server. All right, and now let us build client, KST client. All right, now I'm going to list these images. And we have client and server. Now we have to create containers for these two images, but before that we are going to deal with networks. We need network that we are going to use in order to connect those two containers. But now I'm going to use command sudo docker network ls, and you see that I have this network net, that is a network that I have created previously. I'm just going to remove it, sudo network rm net. All right, now if I run ls, you see that I don't have that network. And now I'm going to use command network create, but with dash dash help. So what options we have to provide with our network creation command? We definitely have to provide subnet. And one more, we have to provide driver. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use command sudo docker network create. I'm going to name that network net, same like previous time. I'm going to provide d for driver, and driver is going to be bridge, and I'm going to provide command subnet. Subnet is going to be 172.550/24, like in previous case, just we are doing it in another way. All right, our network is created. Now I'm going to list my networks, and you see that I have a network called net, and I'm going to do one more thing, network inspect net. You see all of settings for from my network. So now we are going to create containers for our images. Let me list those images once again. So with sudo docker image ls, not docker, docker images. Okay, we are going to create containers for client and server. And how we are going to do that? With sudo docker create. So once again, we are not using run, we are using create. We just want to create those containers. We don't want to run them. Why? Because before running them, we have to connect them to this network that we just created. So now after we provide the command create, I want to provide a name, and I'm going to call it server. So first we are going to deal with the server, and I'm going to provide port mapping. So for server it's 11555 on both sides, and I want to provide command IP for IP address. We are going to provide IP address twice, both on Docker creation and during connection. So it's 172.5.5.5. So we have sudo docker create name server, ports, and IP address. I believe that that's fine. I probably missed something. Okay, let me check. Create, help. Oh yes, I believe that IP is with 2 dashes. Let's try it again. So with double dashing here. No. Of course, I forgot images. Okay, it's KST column, and we are creating server. Yeah, it's fine now. Stupid mistake, embarrassing. Okay, now we are going to create a container for client, and in here we are going to change ports to 1155.6 and IP it's going to be 6 and image it's going to be client. All right, now if we try to list container, we are not going to see anything because we don't have running containers at the moment. These 2 containers are created but they are not running. Why? Because now we are going to connect these 2 containers to network we previously created. So I'm going to use sudo docker network connect, but I want to run help just to be sure. Yeah, it's 2 dashes before IP. We have to provide IP address, and in this case 2. So we are going to connect to network, and we are going to connect KST server first with IP address of 172.555. All right. Now it's name of container, it's just server. All right, and now we are going to connect client with IP. What is IP of our client? It's 6. All right, now we are going to run our containers. So with sudo docker container start server and client. All right, our containers are up and running. So first what I want to do, I want to use sudo network inspect net. No, sudo docker network inspect net. All right, as you can see, I have both of these containers connected. I have client on 6 and I have server on 5. And I want to check one more thing for the end. Sudo docker container stats. Okay, without this container. Let's see. All right, finally, as you can see, everything is up and running. So guys, that's all for this episode. I hope that you learned something new and interesting. So please like, subscribe, and see ya.